Hey you, I am Jer. I suck at EVE Online, but I make videos to help alphas and people using alphas and permanent alphas like myself who never want to go Omega to make the most of the game and to make the complicated parts seem a little bit easier. And this video is a bit of a weird one because I have some work to do. I'm going to talk to you while I do it. But what this video is about is creating a brand new alpha in the most efficient way possible to get the most out of all the 5 million skill points you can get for free and all the different ways you can get more skill points. I have a character, my main character called Beltajer, who was an alpha from the start, but folks, I have regrets. I made mistakes. There were things I thought would be good that weren't. Part of it was I just wasn't trying too hard. I was also just enjoying the character, and that was fine. But now I kind of want to see, what if I start from the beginning, Alpha Jer here, bit emo, but ready to be my ultimate alpha with 5 million perfect skill points, with an extra million, so starting at 6 million by using the referral bonus, and I'll talk more about that. But hopefully we'll be able to see the whole process. I wanted to record the process for myself, so I have a reference to confirm all my theories, and also so you could see it if you want to see how you do it. I've already created this account with a referral code, so that from my other account, so you just take any two accounts and you can refer each other these days. Check my previous video about the Uprising expansion to learn more about that. But this character was referred, so it will have a 1 million skill point gift once I finish logging in and doing the new player experience, which we're going to start with. And then we'll be able to save it and not use it. And I'll talk about that. Not use it until you hit 5 million and then get straight to 6 million, which I didn't do with my previous accounts. And so that's part of it. All right, here we are. I got through the NPE. I thought I was going to actually play it and talk to you, and it was boring. So you're welcome. We're going to skip straight to the fun part. Just looking at what we see after the NPE, I got to the point here where I am in the place with the starter agents, the career agents. We'll talk a bit about that later. But what I wanted to look at first, the most important thing is how we handle our skills. So the first thing I want to think about is, of course, we want to have some skills. And look, and the NPE told me to do a skill, but actually I completely used it up, and I'm already at a point where I need some skills. So those of us who know, we know. You definitely want your frigate of your chosen race, whatever frigates you're going to fly. You want that at 4. Every single frigate has bonuses, and we're going to get more and more for each one. I'm going to abstain from describing the entire skill system. But point being, we're alphas. Everything, little gray boxes are ones we can take. Yellow boxes are ones we would need Omega for. If we go Omega, the paid version, temporarily, we can train those things. But if we come back to Alpha, they'll be gone. So we don't want to train those. What we want to do for sure is train nothing but gray ones. That's all we can train right now. But we'll talk a little bit about how that can be a bit of a trap. But yeah, we'll make sure there's always something here. So this one, already we got 3 days. So we can relax and know these skills are going to accumulate skill points. If you're new, the way it works, it'll start filling up. If you switched it to something else, like if I go to gunnery and I'm going to go to small hybrid turret here. Okay, so if I take small hybrid turret and put it first, because I say, oh, you know what, in my Glente frigate, what I'm going to be using is small hybrid turrets. That's the natural thing. The time I spent on Glente frigate will still be there. It's just like half. So we're still going to be, we're not going to lose any points, although they'll be trapped in that skill. So we definitely want to finish that skill so we don't lose it. But more or less, we're going to want to just max this out. Everything. So I'm actually going to order it like this to be trained in the right order. Oh, small hybrid turret 2 has to be before small hybrid turret 3. Okay, I'm not going to worry too much about that. Training small hybrid turret 2 is fine. Maybe it's a bug. Maybe I'm missing something. Either way, we want to make sure this is full. It used to be you could only train 1 day worth of skills at a time, so we wouldn't have been able to even add Glente frigate 4, I think. But now you can just add it all. So if I want to, I can just say, this is going to be a 5 million SP character. And actually, I can just add things until it ultimately will be 5 million. So really, there's nothing stopping me other than if I want to control their order, right? If I'm actually going to use this character, I don't really want to okay, and the next one has to be before the first one, and some of them interrelate and have each other, so it'll give you different warnings. You can pay attention. But can I close this? Yes. Okay, yeah, I don't want that skill plan. There's a whole thing with skill plans. Explore at your own leisure, but to me, we're imagining here that this is a character that I'm not even necessarily going to use. I already have my other character. What I want is just to get Alpha Jer to the point where they have all the skills like up to their 5 million, so that they have the perfect 5 million that I want. So basically, I'm not going to do it, but I would fill it up, fill it up. Eventually, it'll tell you you can't add anymore. And that will be when you have added 5 million, your 5 million free skill points in there. Beyond that, it won't let you train for free, and so it'll pause the training. So what you want to do is basically add those 5 million and then remove a few. Leave a little empty space so you can move things around if it comes up. But yeah, so fill up that skill queue. Absolutely, that's what you want, because basically we're going to let this run. If we don't log in, we just want to let it run, and 3 months later we can come back and enjoy the fruits of our non-labor here. That's how EVE Online works. And that's why Omega is easy mode, because they just accumulate points no matter if they do work or not. Ha ha ha. I'm joking around. Omegas are wonderful. They pay for the game. So that's the 1 million SP. I wanted to talk about unallocated skill points in my first video about why I'm an alpha. I'll put the thing up there right now. I made the mistake of thinking that your unallocated skill points didn't count towards your 5 million, but they do. They absolutely do. So if you have 1 million unallocated skill points, it's going to make this number here of total skill points go up. So we want to not use them. What these are good for, and they're wonderful, and I can actually show you one. If I take something small here, I can say apply skill points. So rather than waiting for it to train, I can apply skill points. It says, oh, to get to the next level, we need 2314. That's less than our 2506. Okay. Bam, we have that. Now we have less unallocated skill points. All right. So what are unallocated skill points good for? Well, they're good because they're skill points, and if you want a skill, you can have them. My suggestion is try and always keep some, because you never know when you might want something. Like you'll find a fit for a ship, and it'll have a module, and it'll say you don't have the skill for that module. And if you have like 100,000 unallocated skill points ready, you can just inject the skill, immediately have it, and not have to wait, and then spend your waiting time on the things that are nice to have but which you don't need urgently. You go and you get your like larger ships and larger guns that you're not ready for yet. You're saving up to buy those ships, but you want to have them in the future. So that's what unallocated skill points are for. But the thing about being an alpha is you want to avoid putting anything in there until you get to 5 million, because every single point you put in there is going to eat into your 5 million. So I'm going to talk about a few different sources, and the first one is the most important, and I'm going to go to my unclaimed items, my redeem queue, right? These are things I can just grab. So some of them it's fine to grab, like biology, that's a skill training book. I'll just redeem that to the current station, and then it'll be in my items, and I can come and just use it. So item hanger, I'll just use this, or no, I will inject skill. Okay, that's not going to give me the skill. That's going to give me the ability to learn the skill, but hey, I got it for free. How about that? Nice little gift, and I can actually use it. So I come back to my redeem queue. There's other things that I might want to use. Okay, these skins that you get in the redeem queue, you might as well redeem them right away, because what you can't sell them, you can't do anything with them. All you can do is put them into a character directly. So if this is going to be your main character on the account, inject it. It can only go on one character, so you might have 3 characters, and all of this stuff can go to any of the characters. So this is my first character on this account, like you saw on the login screen. It was alone. If I had more than one, like if I have like a trading alt and stuff, I could choose to put this skin on that one or on the main one. It's up to you. To me, in this case, I'm going to just give these to get them out of the way and put them into my body. Okay, but what about these ISK? ISK, that's fine. Always redeem it. And there's expirations on things, right? So this ISK, I have 178 days to claim it. Same thing with this 10,000 skill points. The ISK, it doesn't matter. I'm going to redeem it. It goes straight into my wallet. Doesn't matter. If I put it in the wrong character, I can send it to them. Whatever. It's 10,000. It's easy. But now what about these? Okay. So we have a couple things here that are interesting. One, 25,000 skill points. That's because currently we are in the midst of the Uprising expansion with some incredible rewards. Go see my last video called Alpha Uprising. I'll try to put it up in the corner. Boy, oh boy, this is wonderful. But the thing about these is they have an expiration in 28 days. And so I can ask myself, okay, I don't want to redeem this, because if I redeem this, it's going to add 25,000 to my skill points that total. It's going to add them as unallocated, right? It's going to add them as unallocated down here. But it means those are skills I can't train. That's stuff that's never going to train for free. And once I get to 5 million, it's going to stop training. So I want to train as much as possible for free. But here's the question. Is there a conceivable universe where I'm going to get from 400,000 about here to 5 million in the next 30 days? And the answer is no, I'm not going to make it. And if I forget to log in, I'm going to lose these skill points. So I am going to redeem to the current station. There's no choice. I have to take it. Boom. I have more skills up here and I have more skills down here. This is good now because these are a perfect source of skill points to hold on to and not use right away. In case while I'm training and I try to get into something and I'm like, ah, crap, I need a small hybrid turret 4 or something else, or I need one of the skills, I can just inject it. So it's great to have some injectable skill points. But here's the most important thing. This 10 million, don't even touch it. I'm not even gonna click on it because it's so important that you leave that alone. That is your baby that's gonna get you from 5 million to 6 million instantly as soon as you hit 5 million and it stops training. You won't be able to train anymore, but you'll have this leeway where you can immediately inject a few more skills. You can hold on to them for something you need. Either way, this is the biggest thing you can do to optimize your alpha, and you can do it at any point. The way it works is you go in your Eve account, your eveonline.com. Sorry, I was just looking at an Ashterothi video. You go to your Eve Online account, you click on refer a friend, it gives you a URL, you take that URL and you put it into a new window, like a private browser or something, and you use that to create your account. If you use that to create your account, you get 1 million skill points on the new account for one of the characters. There are only one, so theoretically you want to create one account per character. And then the referring account, so the other account that you used, and you can just create 2 accounts to do this if you really want to, but more importantly, go ahead and check the description or the about for this channel and you can find my URL. Hey, do me a favor, use my URL. Why not? I love you. I take care of you. I make these videos for you. But hey, don't worry about it. Use your own. Use your own. Take care of yourself first. What's important is we have lots of players in EVE Online so that we can keep killing each other and buying things from each other. So there you go. Be careful with your 1 million skill points, okay? In Beltager, I used the 1 million skill points, and now I regret it, although it was convenient at the time. If you really just want to play, you want to have the biggest character right away, use the 1 million skill points right for yourself, and then create a new account and do what I'm doing, and then create the perfect character for later that has just the right amount of skills. This is an interesting one, the 10,000 skill points. I think I got this from the... where did I get this? I guess I got it from my 3rd day of logging in on the daily starter gift. So this is the expansion one. Sometimes there's an expansion track where you get the alpha things, and if you're Omega, you get the Omega things. Sometimes you're just on the daily starter gifts, and I guess it gave you a nice big chunk of 10,000 right away, so that's great. But this one is interesting because it's 179 days, and like, what's the math on that? 180 divided by 30, so that's 6. So that's 6 months. So that's going to last 6 months. And then my question is, wait, if I'm training my skills and I'm going towards 5 million, can I save that and redeem it after my 5 million is done? And I'm going to take it, I don't know. I'm not going to do the math right now. I didn't see this in advance. This is why I love recording it as I go through it myself. I'm going to say, I think we can make it. I think we can get there in 6 months, especially with the different stuff I'm going to do. So I'm going to hold on to this, even though it's only 10,000, and I'm going to try and redeem it at the same time as my 1 million when I hit 5, and that's the important thing. So login rewards are a great source of these things. If you, ideally, you log in every day. Like, it's kind of crazy, even when you're not playing. If you log in every day, you'll climb through all this stuff on the starter gifts and get more and more stuff. Although the normal starter gifts aren't that good. I think they're good at first, and then they kind of get a bit bland after that. What's more important is when there's a new, so if you stay on top of the news and look at the emails that they send you, you'll know when there's a special celebration stuff, and that's when the business happens, right? We got 25,000, 50,000, 75,000. In this case, they're actually giving away Omega, and I'll talk about that for a second. You get 7 days free of Omega, so you gotta log in if they're doing that. But either way, going on any characters like this that are alpha and harvesting these skill points once you hit 5 million is a really good source of skill points. Once you hit 5 million, you'll click on them here, you'll go to your redeem queue, and then you'll immediately just inject them, because why not? You're already at 5 million. Until we get to 5 million, we're being careful. You already understand that. Why am I repeating myself? Okay, So where's the other source is the AIR program. The AIR program is kind of your like tracker for your overall progress. I don't have any AIR program yet because I just started. But if you go through the career agents, you'll actually accumulate a lot of it really quickly. It gives you a variety of stuff, gives you a bunch of ISK. You can just claim the ISK. That doesn't matter. It's actually just kind of annoying that the ISK comes here and risks that you accidentally, I'm going to reclaim it, risks that you accidentally do your 1 million. So just always be careful with that 1 million. It's your baby. It's your little egg in high school, and you're only going to be a good parent if you let it survive. So if you're going to be a good Eve if you let your egg survive. So the AIR program, the nice thing is along the bottom here, you can see that by completely filling it up, you get increasing amounts of skill points. And like these are cumulative, right? So 50 and then 75. So in the end, you get this giant pool. Here's the thing. Collect that after you get 5 million. That's another thing that if you collect it early, it's going to be tempting. But if what you want is a fully min-maxed alpha, like I promised in this video, then save them up. I haven't tested it. I haven't tried it. In my first video, I actually collect one like an idiot. I took 75. That increased my total skill points and reduced my amount I would train. I think if you leave it in your rewards and don't redeem it, then it will stay forever. And then if not, then try not to redeem it in here. I think it might also survive in here without being redeemed. But there you go. If what you're going to do is turn on the character, set all the skills up for the entire 5 million, and then wait, then you should also wait to do all of that and potentially keep playing with another messier character, etc. You know, if it's your first character, though, of course, you don't have to min max. It's about playing the game, right? 5 million. It doesn't matter how you get it. It doesn't matter if you lose your 6 million. You're still going to have a lot of fun, and there's ways to keep getting points afterwards. You could do the alpha skill injectors like I talked about in my first video, which you can buy for 50 million ISK each on the market, and they'll give you 50,000 skill points each time. You can pay attention to your login rewards. You could do the AIR program, right? There's all kinds of things you can do once you hit 5 million to get more, and 5 million is enough if you're smart. If you're smart. Okay, so there you go. That's the stuff about skill points. Oh, wait, no, I'll do one more thing about skill points, and then I'll get into some more general stuff that you might be bored with if you're like a super experienced player. So right now, 7 days free Omega. Holy freaking moly. I'm going to take it. Thank you very much. And what's the... Oh, no, I made a mistake. I've made a terrible mistake. Classic Jer. I made a stupid mistake because look at this. But I could show you the lesson here. This is only going to last for 7 days, and then I'm going to be back to alpha. But right now, I can't buy my skills with the knowledge that they are alpha or not. I am trapped looking it up on the wiki like a freaking jerk. So don't make my mistake. First, fill up your queue for at least your 7 days of Omega. So Omega is twice as fast. So if I saw, oh, okay, so I could leave this like this if I really want to, because this is still 18 days. Yeah, okay, maybe I'll do that. This is still 18 days, which would be twice as much, and so it's going to be less than the 7 days of Omega that I have. So I'll just leave this like this. But ideally, the important thing is make sure you have enough that'll last through whatever temporary Omega period, and then you'll only have the alpha skills. You get it. You're smart, Eve. All right, so the thing about that, watch my other video for if you're going to use one of these 7 days, watch my other video where I talk about going to neural enhancement and getting infomorph psychology and getting the jump clones. I won't talk about that. Although that's exactly what you should do is make sure you get more jump clones with infomorph psychology. Actually, I'm a smart Eve. So I'm going to, oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I'm going to have to send some money to myself so that I can buy the infomorph psychology and train it while I am an Omega, because I don't know when my next free Omega period will be. It's every couple years. It's not very often, but it happens more than once. All right. So that's the Omega stuff. I think that's what I had to say. Watch my other video for more tips about that called Alpha Uprising. I wanted to talk about, well, one thing I'll say, the career agents are excellent. You can find them in the agency if you haven't done them before, and then go to agents and missions and go to career agents and do them all. Just do them all. If you're new, do them all. If you're old, then it's up to you. They're a great way to get standings if you're old and you know what that means. They're a great way to get some stuff. You'll get stuff from it. You'll get ships and things, and you'll be able to try everything. I say do them in order. This is a perfectly good order. Doesn't matter what you plan to do in Eve. You should learn all of the things that they have in here. And then my advice would be, if you're like, oh, I'm just a miner and you're going to mine only, then do them all. And then when you decide, oh, you know what, I also want to try combat, come back and do the Enforcer and Soldier of Fortune ones, which are about combat, right? So do them all and then do them again when you are going to do the thing that they're in because you'll have forgotten. But do them all because they all have excellent rewards. They're going to pump you up with cash and ships. If you're an old character like me, I'm going to take my trading out. I'm just going to forward 100 million ISK. I meant to do it before I forgot. But it's easy to send money between characters. So just send some money from your old character to get them started. They're going to need money to buy the skills. That's the thing. Some skills are cheap. Some skills are expensive. Some of the ones that you're going to want to put for your 5 million, you're going to need to get your 5 million skill points, you're going to need millions and millions to buy. I don't know, I think 50 million will probably be enough, but I'll send an even 1 million, 100, just so that I know long term, I can look at my balance and say, remove 100 and see, am I actually making a profit on the character? But if you're doing what I'm saying here, min-maxing a brand new alpha, you're not going to make money on it right away. It's a long-term investment. You're investing in having the perfect character. If you were playing that character, you'd be making enough money to buy your skills, but for now, my other characters are better. Like I want this one to start. I want it to be a exploration main to replace my exploration character. And actually, I made a terrible mistake if that's what I wanted by putting all these gunnery skills. But that's fine. Whatever you wanted to do, put those skills first so you can start making it useful. But if you have other characters, just use those to make your money and come back and use this one for whatever it's for later. Like for me, pretty much what I want is just to have characters in different places. I want one explorer who's a free agent who can just go to the middle of nowhere. I want one explorer / fighter to go into faction warfare because I'm excited about the new faction warfare and the way that you could do some hacking and scanning exploration stuff to help that, and also the combat. So I'm not sure who will go where, but basically that's the idea. And so that's the career agents. Do the career agents. The last thing I wanted to talk about was just specialization. I talked about my regrets with Belta. One of them was Belta is a Minmatar. I thought I was going to go into Minmatar warfare, faction warfare. That's what I wanted to do, but I sucked. I didn't know what I was doing, so I decided to go to Eve University instead and learn, and that's where Belta Jer has sort of found a home. But the thing is, I just don't like the Minmatar ships. I ended up investing heavily in Galente ships. They're more common in the fits that are recommended for fleets in Eve University, and that's something that's going to come up. Is fleets that you get into are going to have doctrines, which means ships that they expect you to fly, and it's not going to be necessarily what you were hoping for, right? And that's what happened to me. But also, I just shouldn't have been hoping for Minmatar because I prefer Galente. But the problem was that meant I was double invested. I have a ton of Minmatar cruiser, Minmatar frigate, Minmatar freighter points that are more or less useless on that character. And the ship stuff is not the end of the world. Minmatar frigate, that's going to take a while to get to 4. But the bigger problem was the guns. So in the gunnery, there's different types of guns for different ships. And depending on what you start as, you start with a bunch of skills relevant to your type of weapon. So small hybrid turret, it's not actually much. Actually, I look at that. I only have like 1 of small hybrid turret. But the problem was I kept going. I invested in small hybrid turret. I invested in medium hybrid turret. And I can't get those points back. Those points are part of my 5 million and they will be forever. So my advice, if what you want to do is make the most optimized, powerful character at one thing with your 5 million, pick a lane and stick to it more or less. Or choose very carefully which ones you're going to do. Like if you want to do 2 races, maybe go Galente and Caldari, right? Because they both use hybrid turrets. And so the gunnery skills you invest in turrets are going to work for both. Or, drones are more or less Amar and Galente use drones. So you could do those. Although then you get the hybrid turrets. But, there's the missiles, like between them, they're always like 2 races that share each thing of the hybrid turrets, the projectile turrets. Oh no, the projectile turrets are just Minmatar. They're Minmatar are weird. But yeah, anyway, think about that. And also go Galente because they have the nicest ships, am I right? Especially if you love drones. But pick carefully. Look it up. I can't go over it all. I'll link to an Ashterothi video where he does ship fitting. And it's like 4 hours and he talks about every single type of gun. And that's what you need to do. I learned it slowly on Discord, on all these things. But if you're just getting started and you're learning that, you're going to have to somehow read the wiki or watch a video like Ashterothi's that just teaches you everything. But if not, just use the ships from your starting race. Pick your starting race carefully and start by training up the ships for frigate, destroyer, and cruiser, and then the weapons for those ships. So find some fits for those and then see what skills those need, and then train that up to get to like at least 4 or 5 on the relevant skills that apply. Um, and then stick to it, and try not to jump between races, because it's going to put you in a whole other ballpark. Like if I start training missiles, there are so many skills for missiles. And okay, we can't see the alpha ones. I'm cursed for, I forgot I was supposed to do it at the end. But even as an alpha, there's a lot of skills you can train here, and I am not going to train any of them. I'm going to try and make this character 5 million skill points. Everything that could make them better at combat and exploration, without anything related to that. Also, I'm going to avoid, of course, anything related to resource processing. I'm not going to do mining on this character. Look, I'm stuck with some mining skills. I think I picked the wrong starter corpor. Oh no, Center for Advanced Studies. Okay, actually that's the one I wanted. If you're going Galente, try to make sure you're in Center for Advanced Studies as your starter corporation, because it's actually a fun corporation that people like being in, unlike most of the others. So I'll probably just stay in the starter corp here and make this my free-floating explorer. Anyway, don't invest in things you don't need. It's better to have multiple alphas on some level that get good. So if you want one for trading, make an alt. Trading, the trading skills you can get, there's so few that you can get as an alpha that you can get them all in like 1 day of alpha. You don't even need omega training. You can get it all in 1 day of alpha training. So just create an empty one in your second slot here. When you log out and you see your second slot, use that for trading. For a hauler, just to move things around, you can easily within the 5 million. Once you hit 5 million on the first account, first character, set a new one in the same account, so just for convenience, and you can make a perfect hauler. You can make a perfect explorer. If they're never going to fight, you can make a perfect explorer with 5 million. So you don't even have to worry about getting beyond it. What we're trying to do with this, the min-maxing here, to like save up our million and get to 6 million, is to make a well-rounded character, right? Because even once we have everything here for what I'm going to do here, hybrid turrets, and drones. So we're Galente specialists and Galente ships. I think actually with 6 million, I can probably get everything they would ever need for that and exploration. What I can't do is get the other types of ships. But by going to 6 million, by getting beyond 6 million via various sources of SP, I'll be able to slowly fill it out, and I'll be able to use other types of ships, other types of guns and missiles, and I can fill out the like abstract one, like rigging stuff. And then eventually maybe I'll get things like trade and resource just to fill it out. I get all the way up to 20 million. But really, you don't need to get to 20 million, because by the time you're at 20 million, you've got too many. You're never going to use all those options. What are you, flying Amar ships? What do you, support slavery? Absolutely, you're not allowed to fly Amar ships. That's the one rule, okay? If you want to make a min-max character, I'm being silly, you can't fly Amar. Shouldn't even be in the game. They're too evil. Okay. So a couple fresh tips just in case. Any engineering skills that you could get, you want to get as an alpha. If you don't understand them, it doesn't matter. Make them part of your first 6 million. They're so important for being able to fit ships properly. Same thing goes for anything you can get in our electronic systems. That's a little bit weird, but navigation, shields, armor, engineering, you absolutely want all of those. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Look up the Magic 13 skills and get them all. That's really useful. All right. I think I might have talked about everything. If you are making a min-max alpha, let me know in the comments what your process is going to be. Don't forget to go get your, if you're doing it right now, don't forget to go to the New Eden store, turn on your free 7 days of Omega. Don't forget to log in and get whatever login rewards are available. But right now, oh my God, look at this. Look what happened. Because I turned on Omega, I can now get this. So look, I click claim, and all of a sudden I'm going to get all 3 of these things. Right. So just make sure that you go do all your days and start right now. If you're going to do it on an account, start right now, because it's running out of days. And there you go. I love you. And I love that you're playing Eve, and I love that you watched my video. Please leave comments what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see, other videos you want to see with tips for permanent alphas like me. I wanted to look at this. Okay, we saw this. This is showing, oh, new offer. Yeah, never get the offers, okay? These offers are bad. Don't get them. Just ignore them. It's this is hostile. I don't like it. You're an alpha, so you could play for free, or you can buy things. And if you're gonna buy things, buy the alpha skill injectors. That's the only thing you want, in my estimation. Um, Wonderful. All right, so this is the true ending. I am Jer, and I love you. Bye bye.